Questions? DeMichael first.
Scotty, earlier, Zach spoke about the backcourt depth that you guys have, and he say feels like it's pretty much as deep as you guys have had in recent memory. Being around these guys a little bit more now, kind of what do you make of kind of the different players that y'all have in the backcourt now and the optionality?
Yeah, like doubling down on what Zach said, I feel like we're super deep this year in backcourt. Adding Ty, adding Kenny. I feel like it's going to be exciting in the backcourt. We lost Dez, but more room for guys to step up, more guys improve this summer. Jalen, myself, and I feel like it's going to be exciting for that.
Scotty, how do you sort of maintain, that fighter mentality? I mean, obviously, you have a contract now, you're solidified as an NBA player now, but one of the things that stood out about you was you always had that chip on your shoulder, like it was something else to prove. What else is there for you to prove going into this season?
Yeah, every year is still motivation for me to improve and still be better. I think this year, being counted out this year, and I feel like this roster is catered for me to succeed. I think there's more potential for me to play more of a bigger role for me. So I still go into this year hungry to, win games, hungry to perform as an individual as well. So I'm excited for all that.
Chris.
Yeah, Scotty, we talked last year, a little slump, January, February. After that, you played maybe your best 10, 12 weeks of basketball ever, ended with the playoffs with that kind of explosion. Just where are you at in your career, feeling like you can do that every night over 82 games and contribute that same way next postseason?
Yeah, I feel confident now. Last year I went through a little slump, but not to make any excuses, but I was going through, different roles changes, some DNP, some, not playing as much. So I feel like that kind of affected me mentally. So this year just going into it with a level head, feeling confident in my role, and just going out there and just playing my game.
Defensively, you guys added, some players who can kind of ramp up the intensity on that end. How much are you looking forward to that from a competition standpoint with the teammates? We saw Jalen picking up, full court like you in Summer League last year, this year, and then Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. How much are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to our defense a lot. Just in these past few weeks with the little optional workouts and, a little optional pickup, it's been super competitive. Multiple guys are picking up full. Last year it was like one or two guys like me and Jalen that were picking up, but now, we got Ced, we got Kenny, we got, there's a bunch of guys that stepped up. So I feel like it's going to help us a lot just because we have multiple options, different guys, different heights, different sizes that could pick up full and just, disrupt teams a lot more.
Scotty, here in the back, you talked about being counted out maybe for the outside going into the season. Do you think even after losing Dez and all the change and injuries that there might be a path to you guys being better than you were last year, even with how good the conference looks in general?
Yeah, we're this year, as long as we stay healthy, I think that's been one of our biggest issues. Last year we were number 2 team, and then, a couple guys go down and we lose a couple games, and then just like our whole, confidence fell. So this year, as long as we stay healthy, as long as, we do what we're supposed to do, I feel like, we could be that team that makes a playoff run and playoff push.
Hey, Scotty, right here. What, in your workouts that you got to do with your new teammates, what did you see out of them as far as what they like to do offensively? With Cedric, nobody's seen Cedric because he hadn't really played that much, and also KCP and Ty, and getting the ball to them and learning their spots. How difficult or how easy or smooth has that been?
Yeah, that transition's been pretty smooth. Cedric's a rookie, so he's still, no one's kind of seen him play at this level, but I've been super impressed with him, just his ability to shoot the ball, his ability to, take the schemes and stuff like that, and just, he's always playing hard, and I feel like as soon as he's on the court, you have a chance to win. So, with Kenny as well, his ability to shoot the 3 and D and just the vet leadership he brings is something that, we haven't really had since I've been here. So I feel like we added a couple new aspects, and just Ty Jerome as well, just having a guy that could play with the ball in the second unit or first unit if he comes in, and I haven't really played with someone like that either, so I think I'm excited for that.
In the middle here, what's the mentality as you head into training camp? Like what's going through your brain right now? What's that mentality as you get ready to go?
My mentality as a team or as an individual? My mentality is to make my mark on this team. Like I said, I feel like there's a lot of potential for me to grow as a player and just, capitalize on what I did last year. So just to hit the ground running.
Any other questions?
One more on Cedric, just since you've played with him. What's most impressive about his game in these runs? Is it the physical? I know, like everybody talked about the wingspan. Is it the physical tools he has, or what is it that's sort of stood out with him?
I could say a bunch of things, but the main things I would say he's a super smart player. Like he knows when to take the right shots. He doesn't really get sped up, and like most rookie I've seen that they usually get sped up. They take bad shots. I feel like Cedric, he just super solid. And the main thing I would say is his defense. Like I feel like Cedric could really guard every position on the court. There's times in practice where he's picking me up full court, and it's like, dang, he's moving like a point guard. And I would say that it's his ability to just learn, and he just continually improves. And I'm excited to see what he does this year.
Last question, Chris.
Yeah, Scott, it's all been basketball here. Everybody else got a question. What was maybe the most fun thing you did this offseason? Either just hot vacations or maybe something you learned to do personal development?
That's a good question. I got my golf game a little bit better this year. My brother graduated college, so that was exciting. And then, this is my first summer just not having to play summer league or, be somewhere. So I was able to just work on my game, relax with family, and, just get my mind right for the season.
What's that handicap?
Oh, I don't know. I can't give you all that. You got to see me on the course.
Appreciate you.
All right, y'all. Appreciate it.